Hey guys, MD Prepper here, talking about other low-cost prepping options and first-time ownership for small pocket pistols. We've got to talk about the Beretta 21A and the Taurus P22. This is, of course, the Beretta 21A Bobcat is what it's called. Great little 22 long rifle pistol, very small, very compact. Not as deadly or as compact as a lot of your other pocket guns, but I thought we should talk about 22s for pocket guns because 22s are the cheapest round out there. If all you own is a 22 rifle and you need something to go with it, well, maybe you want a 22. I bought this primarily as a plinking gun for the range, just to practice my draw, practice my trigger pull, you know, my form and all that, without spending a fortune on 380s or 32s or whatever. 22s are a lot better to practice with. These things are a little high-end for the Berettas anyway. The Beretta is a premium firearm, well-made, extremely well-made. It's going to run you $300 to $350 in this model, the 21A. This one, 21A is a 22 long rifle. They also offer these in 25 ACP. I've got one of the older versions, the 950, which I got that used, so that's not really, they don't make them anymore, so that's not really going to be a video for now. But they make them in 25 in the newer version. I can't remember the numbers. Slightly larger frame like this one. I also make them in 32 ACP. Now overall, I think the Kel-Tec is a much better purchase. It's smaller and lightweight and thinner, etc. than the Beretta. But hey, whatever you want. But the great gun. Love the little Beretta. Do I ever intend to carry it? Hopefully not. But I got this one actually used for about $200 in absolute pristine condition. Wonderful little gun. Overall stats, it is 11.5 ounces overall unloaded, but it has a 7-round magazine, plus 1 is 8, but with 22 rounds that does not add significantly to the weight. So what we're looking at, maybe 12 ounces totally loaded. So it's still very lightweight overall. Very nice little pistol, but it's considerably wider than your modern little pocket guns, in my opinion, which isn't necessarily bad. It just depends on what you want. But look at this here, how thick this is compared to the Kel-Tec. Notably thicker. Now this gives a much better purchase and grip on it, but for the same size, if not slightly smaller for the Kel-Tec, and thinner and lighter weight, I'd go for the Kel-Tec for day-to-day carry. This is fine if you want it. Good stuff. Now, like I said, this is a premium gun. It's designed for premium ammunition. There is no extractor in this thing. If you look at it up close, look at that. No extractor on this side or on that side. This is based purely on the blowback of the round, so if you're going to use this thing, you've got to shoot premium ammo in it. So that's a hit against the prepper option there, I'd say, but 22 ammo, even premium 22 ammo is quite reasonable overall. So CCI mini mags and all that are going to function just fine in this, and they do. But the reason I got this probably so cheap for $200, which was in pristine condition when I got it. It looked new out of the box. It's got a few marks on it from my personal use on it, but brand new basically for $200 at a local gun store. I can guarantee you what happened. Somebody bought this thing for a little pocket gun, something for concealed carry or whatever, and went out and bought some cheap ammo from Walmart. I guarantee you they bought the bulk box Federal ammo, which I shoot all the time. They took it to the range and it jammed every 3 rounds. That's absolutely what happened. Maybe every 4 rounds or 5. Every so often you get through a full magazine. And they said this thing's a jam-o-matic, it's a piece of junk. And turned it in, sold it in, and bought, turned it in and bought something else. Oh, they were wrong. This is a fine little gun if you're shooting premium ammo in it. No problems whatsoever if you're shooting your high velocity mini mags and all of your better stuff. Your bulk stuff is going to have trouble because of that lack of the extractor. That's just the way it's designed. Why did they design it that way? I really don't know. Let's see. Slide does not lock back on the last round fired. This one, unlike the Taurus 22, is single or double action. With the hammer down, it can be fired double action. I'm not going to pull that all the way. Or can be cocked for single action. So after the first double action round, if the hammer happens to be down, it's going to be a long double action pull. Very light, very reasonable. But after that, it's going to be a very sweet little single action pull. It does have a manual safety right there. So you can cock and lock this thing if that's the way you want to carry it. If you've got the older 950 25 auto, you're going to have to carry it cocked and locked because you can't fire it single action only. So you got to keep it ready to go. The magazine release is an odd spot right there, down and low, kind of an odd place, except for when you see where your hand falls on a little pistol like this, you realize that anywhere else on this thing is going to have a risk of releasing the thing. So you're going to have to come in here and release it with your offhand, and that makes perfect sense for a pistol this size. I honestly wish I saw that on some of your other little pocket guns. I think that might be a better spot overall. I really like that little button back where it's at. A little odd to get used to if you've been shooting standard handguns, but once you get used to it, it's a great addition. So, let's see. Other advantages of this gun, flip-up barrel. If you've got a female shooter or somebody else who's got weaker hands, somebody older, who just can't rack the slide on a semi-auto but wants a semi-auto, this is the way to go. The only way to go. So, let's say I can't handle the slide on this, and if you can't, I'd really recommend a revolver, but let's say you can't and you still want a semi-auto. Load up your mag, slap it in here, good to go. But what you do, there's a little lever here, right there, that you flip, which doesn't work real well if you try to do it upside down, and it flips up the barrel. Huh, isn't that cute? So what you do is you drop a round in here, whatever your high quality ammunition is, and drop it down. You've got a round chambered and a full magazine here to go. So 7 rounds plus 1, that's it. It's loaded. You don't have to rack the slide at all. All you have to do is start firing, or cock it to single action and put the safety on, and there you go. Drop the safety, fire, it's going to fire, and etc. So, you have a failure to eject. The way to handle this thing is not to rack the slide like you're used to. That's not going to work. It's not going to do anything because there's no extractor. You got to flip this thing up. Now, it's going to be a pain in the butt to grab it around and pull it out, so that's why you want to shoot premium ammo on this thing. Again, this is a mouse pocket gun. This is should be your backup gun, so you shouldn't be relying on this as your primary, in my opinion. But you could, if this is all you got. Like I said, this one's about $300 to $350, somewhere like that. Now, I don't own the Taurus PT-22 little pocket gun. I intend to pick one up at some point just to play around with it. It is a knockoff of this. It has the tip-up barrel, fires 22s. Obviously, they make them in 25 as well. 25 is center fire, but expensive as all get out, so not a very good prepping round, in my opinion. But it's less prone to jams or problems firing, extracting than the 22 long rifle. So your opinion on that one, whatever. I'll talk about those in another video. But anyway, the Taurus versions run you about $200, maybe a little bit less. So for a low-cost little pocket gun, they're the cheapest. You're not going to find anything cheaper than that other than the little 380 Taurus new little pocket guns, which I don't have yet, but kind of want to try out. But anyway, the PT-22s by Taurus are double action only, so you can't cock them. They don't have the hammer back here to cock into single action or safety, anything like that. But I hear great things about them. They've got one in a polymer version now. They come in tons of colors and options and grips and finish and whatnot. There's 1,001 different variations of the Taurus PT-22. Most people say good things about them. I just never picked one up. Why? Because I could buy the Beretta for $200 when I found it in basically new condition. So why would I pick up the Taurus? I'll pick one up at some point. Obviously, you need to carry this in a little pocket holster right here. You need to know what you're doing if you're going to carry this thing cocked and locked in single action. I carry cocked and locked a lot, concealed carry, but I don't carry cocked and locked in my pocket. That freaks me out a little bit. I would probably carry this in double action, personally. Yeah, that's long enough. It's not going to go off unexpectedly. And it's soft enough that you're going to be okay on that first shot and then have your 7 follow-ups. So, there's the pocket holster. Little big and bulky compared to our little Kel-Tec 32 there. So, it's a fine option. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with the Taurus PT-22. Just thought I'd cover that and talk about the little 22s and the 25s to a certain extent. I'd probably still go 22s. 25 is so ridiculously expensive. So, anyway, 22 little pocket guns, not a bad choice if that's all you can handle. If you can't handle any higher recoil, you got somebody who's highly recoil sensitive or can't rack the slide, it's a good choice. Like I say, I'd probably look around because you can find these things used fairly often, especially the Berettas, because people don't know what the heck they're doing with them. They just shoot bulk, cheap, junk ammo, and they have problems with them. Well, you will. Spend a little bit extra money for the CCI, the premium ammo, you're going to be just fine, and it's going to offset the cost of the pistol just fine. Especially if you get it for the same price as your basic little knockoff ghetto guns. MD Prepper, out.